In this video, we'll cover how to create and edit properties. I'll click on Properties here. Each job in the system is linked to one property. Creating a property is straightforward to do. I'll start creating a property by clicking this button. First, the page will ask us for the address. As we start to type in the address, it will offer autocomplete suggestions for us. Behind the scenes, it's using the Google Maps API to retrieve the full address information for the location. This means I don't need to type in the city and zip code and state because the API has retrieved those automatically. Here I can type in an apartment number if needed. Next, I'll click Save to go to the next part of the process. We can enter a property name. This could be the address, but it can be convenient to enter a more descriptive name, like Starbucks. It's just a way to tell what the property is. This section has the custom fields to enter. Different custom fields can show up based on whether this is a service address or a headquarters address. A property can be set up as either a headquarters property or a service address property. A service address is one that we're performing service on, versus a headquarters address, which is essentially used for mailing things to commercial clients and so on. By the way, while we're talking about the difference between headquarters properties and service address properties, this main property list here will show the service address properties and filter out the headquarters properties. A way to get to the headquarters address is to go to the associated customer in a customer's list, click Available Actions, and there you'll see buttons for viewing and updating the headquarters address from there. Now I'll go back to the new property we were creating. This section has the custom fields to enter. For these custom fields, we can track something about properties besides the address information itself. For example, we could add a custom property for site phone number. These custom fields work the same way as the other custom fields do. This is how to configure the custom fields that are asked there. We can go to Settings, and then Customizations. We can click on Property Custom Fields, and then add a custom field to this list, or we can edit an existing one by clicking Available Actions and then clicking View/Update. For example, now we're reviewing and updating this property that says site phone number for apartment complexes. Just like the other custom fields, we can choose the type of response. This can be yes or no, also known as Boolean. It can be custom choices. It can be freely entered text, number, or a date. This is where we set if it applies to headquarters or if it applies to service addresses. Here we can say if this is required or optional. I'll go back to the new property we were creating. Here we have a section for customer relationships. This is where we can create the links between customers and properties. We can have many customers linked to a property. Note that we can have more than one property manager customer. It's just that only one of them can be set as the primary. Primary, in this case, basically just means that this is the person whose contact information is going to show up at the top of the property information pages and the invoices. There should be at least one relationship added. Here, we can add special instructions to a property. For example, at a given apartment complex or at a given shopping center, we might want to have service technicians park in a certain area, and that's going to pertain to every time we go out there. This shouldn't be a customer special instruction because it's not tied to the customer, and it's not a job special instruction because it's not a one-off instruction for the job. It's an example of where a property special instruction is best. When special instructions are added, we can specify who they are seen by and if seen during job start or job end. This is where we can add documents to be seen by the technician. We mentioned the types of documents that can be added in the video on document templates and document types. We can upload electronic documents, categorize them by type, and we have the ability to show it to the technicians when they are there. For example, we might need to add plans or blueprints where it's going to be accessible to the technicians so they can use them while performing their job. In some cases, like for quotes, we can choose not to make the document visible by technicians. When we're done making changes, we can click this Save button. One last thing to cover is updating the financially responsible party. In this list of properties, I can click Available Actions and then click Update Financially Responsible Party. This is the person who will be, by default, the financially responsible party for jobs at the property and who will be sent the invoices. If there's only one item in this list, that means there's only one relationship linked to this property. After the invoice is created, the financial party for that invoice can be changed. This can be useful in the case that a property manager gets fired or a new one gets hired. In this video, we talked about how to create and edit properties.